A lot of you are probably wondering what my schedule's like, and you're probably also wondering why I've taken so long to tell you it. So that's what this video is going to answer. First of all, just the difference between how a schedule works here versus at home. At home, you take a whole bunch of classes. You've got your Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, your Tuesday, Thursday classes. Sometimes there's night classes you have once a week, or with a film major, there's a lot of longer classes that you only have once a week. But here, I'm only taking 3 classes, and I think that might be a full schedule. And 2 of my classes are philosophy classes, and 1 is a film class. So the film class, even though it's just script writing, is a 2-hour block, so I only have it once a week. And then the philosophy classes are 1 hour, so I have those 2 days a week for each of them. But all my classes are on Monday, and then I also have my 2 philosophy classes again on Thursday. But then the difference between here in America is that you have to sign up for a seminar for each of your classes. So there's another hour that is basically dedicated to the class. But the thing is, you have options of which seminar to sign up for, so you get a little more freedom with your schedule then. It's sort of like a first come, first serve. And so I tried to put as many of my seminars on Monday as possible, since I already had, 3 classes on Monday. Then I was able to put 2 of my seminars on Monday as well. One of my seminars had to be on Tuesday. So now my class schedule is locked down. So I'm at school on Monday for like 7 hours. I can actually look up my schedule here on my calendar. I finally went ahead and put it in my phone. Okay, so on Mondays, my first class is a seminar. It's at 10 o'clock, and then I've got an hour break. After that, class is over, and then I have democratic theory, and then I have script writing right after that, and that's the 2-hour class. Then right after that, at 3, I have my Plato's Existentialism class, and then I have script writing, the seminar for that. So script writing, that ends around 6, then it takes about half an hour to walk back. Now that I've got some shortcuts, that cut off like 10 or 15 minutes of the walk. But then Tuesday at 2 p.m. I have a democratic theory class, which is only an hour. That might actually be my worst day, because I have to walk all the way to school just for 1 class. Then Thursday, I've got democratic theory at 11, Plato de Existentialism at noon, and then that means Fridays and Wednesdays, no classes, totally free. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's why I tried to put as many of the seminars on Monday as possible, because that way Monday I'm just super busy, but all the other days it's pretty open. I guess to talk about each class a little more individually, I guess I'll just start with Plato de Existentialism. That class, we're going to be studying a couple different philosophers. Right now we're doing Socrates, which we're going to read the Apology, which is him explaining to the court why he's not guilty of corrupting the youth and stuff. And it's a pretty interesting read. I've already read it because I took a Plato class. And then we're also going to read the Crito, where he's been sentenced to death now, and his friend's like, hey, yo, we can get you out of here. And he's like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and die. So Socrates is a fun guy. Then democratic theory. This is the reason that I didn't post a video, because I actually did record a video, and I talked about democratic theory, but then I talked about the referendum and how fun it is to take a class on majority rule and democratic theory, and like talking about, the will of the people, because right now Scotland is voting on whether or not to become an independent nation, but then I didn't upload it right away, and then the referendum happened, and I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and record a whole new video then. I guess I could have just edited that one part out. Oh well, too late now. We're in this. So democratic theory is a lot of fun, even though the referendum did fail. It's still really interesting, and people have a real world example of something that was really important that people voted on, and we're learning about other voting methods besides just the first past the poll, which is basically just whichever gets the most, like plurality. There you go. Which is what I think we're all used to thinking, just whichever one is the most popular, whichever one gets the first number one rankings. But maybe if you gave people more options besides just yes or no. I think I might see if I can get someone maybe to come in and explain to you all the referendum from a Scottish point of view. I can't promise it'll be a neutral Scottish point of view, but it'll at least be more interesting and better informed than anything I can tell you. And then script writing is my third class, and this class is a lot of fun. In the seminars, we're like building characters and developing what our script is going to be, and then the projects that we're going to do, or like what we need to turn in for the class, is the first 15 pages of a script. So back home, we had to write an entire script, and like you're constantly turning in pages that you've worked on every week, constantly working on this same script. But I'm afraid that like the idea is then to get a complete script and not necessarily get a good script. And so this way we're really focusing on, character and plot and things like that. And then we're going to do a pitch, so we practice pitching the idea, and we are going to do a treatment, which a treatment is basically just a summary of the whole script. That way, someone can read the treatment and not have to read the entire script. So we are thinking out the whole movie, but instead of spending an entire semester on just like working on dialogue for every scene and shots for every scene, we're more so just getting the skills we need to write a good script so that we can go away and then write a complete script. So I'm really excited about this class. It'll be a lot of fun. There's actually someone in the class that goes to school pretty near BW, so hopefully we get in contact once we're back in Ohio. That'll be fun. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make this a long video and also talk about clubs that I've joined. So far, the meetings I've gone to are Philosophy Club and Air TV, which is like the film club. I definitely want to join the International Society because they're gonna, travel around, learn about cultures. I'm an international student. It makes sense to get involved in that. Every club you join, you have to pay. And then there's also like the sports and then the clubs, sort of. And the sports, you'd have to pay to be part of the gym, and then you have to pay to be part of whatever club you want to be a part of. And I'm sure it's slightly more expensive because there's equipment and probably uniforms and things like that. Luckily, I'm really unathletic and I have no interest in that. But for the clubs, you have to join like the student union, which is £5, which is more than $5, just so you know. The transfer rate, the American dollar, is worthless. So £5, and then to join the International Society, you have to £5 on top of that. And then, join Air TV, I forget exactly how much it is, but I need to go and pay those things. I just did Give It a Go this past week, where you go and you see if you want to join the club. And so the two I went to, Philosophy Club, one of the professors gave a speech on like, what is philosophy? So it was mostly for like first years, but a whole bunch of people showed up. There's some cool people. Philosophy Club, they meet once a week. They watch a movie or have a guest speaker, whether it's a professor from this university or a different university. And then afterwards, they go to the pub and talk about philosophy. So it sounds like a really cool thing that I definitely want to do every week, especially since I don't have class the next day, so I can have a pint, stay up late, no worries, I can just sleep all the way through Wednesday. And then the other one that I went to was Air TV, and that was awesome. Their Give It a Go event was Scene Stealers, which you haven't seen the video. I went ahead and posted it before this, so it's right below this video. Or if for some reason you're on YouTube watching this, I'll put a link to my travel blog, and then it's right below that, because anyway. So Scene Stealers, here's the fun story about the scene we stole. AirTV, the group, breaks up into their different individual, they each get a number, and then they counted off all the newbies, which is mostly first years, and then the kids studying abroad. And so I got number 1, I went to the guy holding up the number 1 finger, we get talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm a 4th year film student, and he goes, you're 4th year? I'm only a 2nd year, why don't you just go ahead and take over? So I kind of took over. I don't want to say that I was in charge, because I was literally like my first day, but a first year that was talking to me afterwards, because once it was all wrapped up, of course we went to the pub. That's how every event for any club seems to always end. You go to the pub, because there's one right on campus. So we went to the pub, and he thought I was like the leader of AirTV. He thought I was like the president or something of it. And I'm like, no, this is my first day. And he was like asking questions and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. Just get part of the email list or something. I'm not sure how any of this works. Although the person that is in charge is from the USA. She's a student from Massachusetts. Although I think she's spending all 4 years here. It's not like she's an international student. Anyway, so I kind of took charge and whatnot. I seemed to be the one barking the most orders. But I think it turned out pretty fun. We had, I guess I should explain what Scene Stealers is. We had 3 hours to take the scene that we got and reshoot it. And so we all got in our group, and then each group was supposed to run up and tell the moderator, basically, of the selected movies, which one we wanted. And we're like, let's do Team America, World Police. For those of you that don't know, it's a movie that is entirely marionettes. And we're like, oh man, that'd be so cool, like doing marionettes. We'd either act like marionettes, or we were even like talking about what we could use to like string up our hands, and oh, it'll be so cool, let's definitely do Team America, World Police. We got that scene, and then we went back and we found a room. We're like, okay, so now we got like a little location for us. We'll set up headquarters here. Let's look at our scene. What do we got here? Oh my gosh, this scene is super racist. Okay, so we don't want to do this scene, but I will, little creative license, we'll do the trailer. We looked at the trailer. Okay, this trailer is also racist. And that's when we realized Team America, World Police is a pretty racist movie. There's really no scene from it we could take and feel good about ourselves. So we're just like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and call the leaders and see if anyone took the Jurassic Park scene, because we'll just take that scene instead. So we called them up, said, yo, this scene is way too racist, can't believe you put it in the list, we're not doing this, we're gonna do the kitchen scene from Jurassic Park. So that's what we ended up doing. And like I said, don't want to call myself the leader, but I storyboarded, I felt like I was the one giving the most instructions. I was like, hey, we should be flickering lights, or we should get this shot, and things like that. So I really enjoyed it. And then next week, we're gonna get together and we're gonna get our production groups. And these production groups, like every 2 weeks, just make some sort of small film. And so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully I'll have some stuff then to be showing you guys of what we make, and have more stories about how we made it and things like that. So I think that pretty much covers up not only what my schedule is, but a little bit of everything that happened this week. Wait, let's make this video a little bit longer. Something that happened at Philosophy Club is I was introduced to Iron Brew, It's illegal in America because they refuse to reveal their secret ingredient. But what's actually really cool about it is I think this is the only place, at least that's what they said, like, this is the only place where there is a canned drink, like a soda, that is more popular than Coca-Cola. And this one Scottish guy in the club described it as, it's awful, but it doesn't apologize for it. And it tastes very sweet. Some people say it tastes like a creamsicle, because it does have like sort of that creamy taste a little bit, like the first sip it definitely did. I wouldn't say like an orange creamsicle or something, like that's how somebody said that it would taste to me. I'm like, I don't get the orange, but it's definitely very sweet. You can taste the cream. And then, like after that, it really just tastes like sugar. Like, you know that gum you get, and for a couple chews, it just tastes like pure sugar, and then after a few bites, it's just totally gone. Like, yeah, it tastes like that, just type of sweet, pure sugar. So, I didn't like it that much. But it's very popular here, and you see everybody drinking it. If they're not drinking alcohol, they've got Iron Brew. So, anyways, they also listed off a bunch of other Scottish things that I need to eat, including haggis, which is that whole intestines inside of like a sheep stomach and stuff. And apparently because of the like sheep lungs inside of the haggis, it's illegal in America. So that's basically a summary of Scottish food. It's illegal in America. Luckily, there was someone in the philosophy club, and she said that she would be happy to make most of these Scottish dishes and bring them in so that I can try them and things like that. So eventually, I will be tasting some exotic Scottish foods, but until then, yeah, I've pretty much just been getting cheap stuff from the local store that's just real cheap and easy to make. And I think after I post these videos, I'm gonna go and buy some more food, because I keep getting made fun of for having absolutely no variety. I just eat sandwiches all the time, like peanut butter sandwiches or like ham sandwiches, and they're like, don't you need a little more variety in your diet? And I'm just like, probably. So I'm gonna go ahead, throw this video up, put on some shoes, and then get shopping and hopefully get a little more variety in my cupboard.